Get ready, fight fans, because UFC Vegas 114 is here with massive matchups and potential upsets. We've got DraftKings DFS picks to help you build your bankroll as Josh Emmett faces the rising Kevin Vallejos. Plus, hear why Amanda Lemos is in trouble against the surging Gillian Robertson. And is Ian Cutelaba on his way out against Almersi? We'll break it all down and tell you who to bet on. Don't miss a single second. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Vallejos is poised to dominate Emmett. This UFC Vegas 114 co-main event features a classic veteran versus prospect matchup, with aging striker Josh Emmett facing the highly touted Kevin Vallejos. Emmett, now 41 and on a 1-4 skid, is facing increasingly tough competition, with his recent setbacks against top contenders like Ilia Topuria and Yair Rodriguez. His power, once his greatest asset, has waned, with only one knockout since 2019. Vallejos, on the other hand, is a 24-year-old phenom with a 17-1 record, boasting 2 knockouts in his last 3 fights. His lone loss came in a close contender series bout, but his overall potential is immense. He's not just a power puncher. Vallejos averages nearly 6 significant strikes per minute and possesses submission skills, making him a well-rounded threat. This fight is a stark contrast: Emmett's fading power against Vallejos' dynamic offense and athleticism. The betting odds heavily favor Vallejos, reflecting Emmett's decline and Vallejos' ascent. Analysts and fans are buzzing about Vallejos' potential, with many seeing this as a clear stepping stone in his path to a title shot. Emmett's best chance might be a lucky knockout, but his inability to consistently finish opponents in recent years makes this unlikely. Vallejos is expected to control the pace and eventually overwhelm Emmett. This is just the beginning of our UFC Vegas 114 breakdown. Stick around as we dive into another high-stakes bout. Next up, we're looking at the strawweight division, where a veteran contender faces a dangerous finisher. Rousey drops a bombshell on UFC's fighter pay. Ronda Rousey, the trailblazing former UFC champion, has ignited a firestorm by publicly criticizing the organization's fighter compensation. Speaking at a press event for her upcoming MMA comeback fight against Gina Carano, Rousey declared the UFC has transformed from a premier destination for combat sports athletes into one of the worst places to go in terms of fair pay. Rousey, who was the first woman to sign with the UFC in 2012, highlighted the stark financial reality for many fighters, stating, "A lot of them fighters, at the ground level, can't even support their families. They're living at poverty level fighting full-time." This comes at a time when the UFC has reportedly secured massive revenue streams, including a recent $7.7 billion deal. She contrasted this with the company's focus on the next quarter and shareholders. Echoing Rousey's sentiments was former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou, who also attended the event. Ngannou emphasized the independent contractor status of fighters, asserting, "We are not an employee. We are independent contractors, and we should be able to get what we deserve." He expressed relief at being free from the organization's pay structure. Jake Paul, whose promotion company MVP is backing the Rousey-Carano fight, seized the moment to declare the UFC dying and positioned MVP as the future of combat sports, prioritizing fighter compensation. These fighter pay discussions are heating up the combat sports world. But what's happening inside the octagon? We're heading to Vegas next for another must-see fight. Hardwick aims to silence critics in Vegas debut. Harry Hardwick is stepping back into the octagon at UFC Fight Night in Vegas this weekend, aiming to rebound from a debut that drew intense criticism. His first UFC appearance in Paris saw him stopped in the first round by Ka Fernandez, leading to widespread fan backlash and even skepticism from UFC legend Cub Swanson. Despite the harsh reception, Hardwick remains undeterred. He acknowledges the pressure of needing to perform, stating, "It's a cutthroat business. If I don't perform, I could be getting sacked." However, he contrasts this upcoming fight with his debut, noting, "I was confident and I went into that UFC debut believing I would win, but it was a very strange situation taking a UFC on a week's notice, whereas for this fight I have had a fantastic training camp. This full camp has allowed him to train in Vegas, working with fellow fighters at the UFC Performance Institute and Syndicate MMA. Hardwick faces the undefeated Marwan Rahiki, a fighter he respects but also believes he can exploit. I believe Rahiki is a fantastic opponent. He comes to fight. He is borderline needlessly aggressive, which is his greatest strength and his greatest weakness, Hardwick commented. He plans to use his discipline and strategic approach to counter Rahiki's aggression. Fans are eager to see if Hardwick can overcome the pressure and secure his first UFC victory, proving the doubters wrong. Can Harry Hardwick turn his career around in Vegas? We're not done yet. Next, we're revisiting a major announcement that has the MMA world talking. Rousey's Netflix return sparks UFC pay controversy. Ronda Rousey's highly anticipated return to MMA on May 16th against Gina Carano, set to be broadcast live on Netflix, has been overshadowed by her scathing critique of the UFC's fighter pay practices. At a press conference announcing the bout, Rousey didn't hold back, stating that the UFC, once a leader in combat sports compensation, is now one of the worst places to go financially for fighters. She elaborated on the financial struggles faced by many UFC athletes, pointing out that a lot of fighters at the ground level can't even support their families. They're living at poverty level while fighting full-time. Rousey contrasted this with the UFC's reported $7.7 billion revenue, suggesting the company prioritizes shareholder profits over fighter welfare. This criticism comes on the heels of other high-profile disputes, such as Jon Jones' contract disagreements. Francis Ngannou, former UFC heavyweight champion, lent his support to Rousey's claims, emphasizing the independent contractor status of fighters and their right to fair compensation. Jake Paul, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions, MVP, which is promoting the event, amplified the message, declaring the UFC is dying and that MVP is positioned to put fighters first. The fight itself is a landmark event, being Netflix's first live MMA broadcast and the first women's fight to headline a major global streaming platform. Both Rousey and Carano expressed personal and professional motivations for their returns, with Rousey citing motherhood as a catalyst and Carano describing the comeback as a healing and exciting opportunity. That's a wrap on our top stories for today. But before you go, let's quickly recap the biggest moments and what's next. What a show! We saw Kevin Vallejos making a statement at UFC Vegas 114, Ronda Rousey calling out the UFC's pay practices, Harry Hardwick fighting for his career in Vegas, and Rousey's Netflix return making headlines. Don't miss any of the action, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and tell us your picks in the comments below. Follow us on all social media platforms for more exclusive content.